Okay, you've made it. You have looked at the intro video. You've gone through all the videos about the movements, the different things we can do, like the short stop drill, practicing your hinges, the hard style plank, hip bridges. We went through all the different sort of progression exercises to get up to being able to do the swing. We talked about the deadlift. We talked about the goat bag swings. We talked about the low pendulum, the high pendulum, and we did dead stop. You've done all those things, you've practiced them, you're feeling good, the mechanics are getting down, you've practiced the breathing, you're ready to start with the two-handed swing, continuous swings. So, pretty much all the points that we have applied to both the progressions to the swing, the deadlift, the goat bag, the pendulum, the dead stop swings, they all apply to the two-handed swing. All the principles apply, all the mechanics apply. Again, we're going to go over each point one more time. Hinge, not squat. Hinge, hinge, not squat. Hips, drive, arms guide. So it's your hips. It's your hips. It's your hips. Driving hard through your heels. Hips, punch forward. Okay? Your arms, don't raise the kettlebell up. You don't pull it up. They just guide it. They just guide it. The kettlebell does all the work. Your hips do all the work. Vertical plank, so at the top. Midsection's nice and braced. Shoulders are down and back. Powerful, strong. It's like when you get here, it's like you become a marble statue. It's just like, it's like if someone were to come along and try to like knock you over, it would just be like trying to hit a statue. You won't move. Everything's locked down. Glutes are nice and tight. Midsection is braced. Shoulders are down and back. Lats are tight. Legs are rock hard. Your legs are nice and hard. Kneecaps are drawn up. Your heels are driving through the floor. Toes are gripping. A lot of times I train barefoot. I happen to be wearing shoes today. If you are going to wear shoes, don't wear like traditional running shoes with insoles. You can wear weightlifter shoes, or like I have, these are like minimally soled zero drop shoes, so definitely do that, but you want to feel more connection and rooting with your feet to the floor. All right. Last thing, top of the kettlebell swing. You're going to stay in this nice tight plank. And the kettlebell, the weight of the kettlebell, gravity, is just going to make it fall. And it's going to fall, and then right here, right before it gets to your hips, your groin area, whatever, your lap, you're going to feel your triceps come in contact with your rib cage. Right here, the last second, you're going to dodge your hips straight back. Kettlebell's going to be behind you, and then you're just going to drive it up. All right. I doubt you're going to be able to read all this, but these words are really, and these points are really for my brain to keep all this stuff straight too. So I'm going to hit each of these points, and we're just going to demonstrate all of them. Number one, so getting a nice deep hinge, your feet are a little bit wider than your hips. So if I were to face you here, so my feet a little bit wider, toes can be forward or slightly turned out. What I like to do is take your hands and put them in the creases of your hips. Drive those hips back. This is, I'm ready to swing, okay? The kettlebell is going to be kind of right below your eyes. You're going to hinge. You're going to rock the handle back. Now I'm pulling my shoulders back into their sockets, really locking those lats down. And then once you do that, you're going to snap the kettlebell in half. The pits of your elbows are going to be rotated forward. and you're just gonna hike it back hard using only your lats. Remember that low pendulum, and then you're gonna stand up hard. Boom. Boom. Okay, you're gonna stand up hard, driving that kettlebell up. Remember horizontal projection of force, so your hips, it's almost like if the kettlebell was just sitting here and somehow like glued to you or velcroed here. Whenever you pop it up, let's say you didn't have your hands, the kettlebell just shoots, shoots out that way. Brace your midsection, lean back. You're gonna hike it back and then just stand up hard through your heels. Come to the top of the swing, kettlebell falls, you just dodge it. When it comes back, it's gonna load your hamstrings. You have this automatic stretch reflex. So as soon as you do this, your body's gonna be, it's almost like a spring. It's gonna wanna boom, or you could say it's like stretching a rubber band, right? So you stretch a rubber band and it wants to snap. So when you do this, it's almost like you load your hamstrings as the kettlebell goes behind you, and it's like stretching a rubber band, and boom, your body just wants to do it again. All right, one last thing I'll say, and then I'll get to demonstrating a little bit. One of the cues or concepts that's helped me is, I've heard it said before, so pretend like kind of where the kettlebell goes, like that there's, you can almost say like a basketball hoop with a net kind of behind you, and what's happening is when the kettlebell comes down, the backswing here, it's like going right to this, like right to that net, and then you're just pulling it, I should say just like ripping it back out. So like it's always going through, like between your legs right back here into like this basketball hoop, boom, and then you're just nothing but net, like ripping it out. Okay. So, I don't know, I did 10, 12, something like that. This is actually a lightweight for me, but still, the thing about like hard style training, we say we make lightweights feel heavy and heavyweights feel light. And so, because I'm driving so hard with my hips, because I'm like coming into that really strong plank at the top, because I'm putting so much of my effort into it, even this lightweight is still causing me to breathe heavy. I can definitely feel that I've exerted myself. So it's just a great way to exercise. You're teaching your body how to move from maximum tension to relaxation. And believe it or not, even though I'm in the plank at the top of the swing, that's a rest period, because that's like the moment that the kettlebell is weightless, right? You're not driving it forward and it's not dropping. It's like just for that brief second, that's actually your rest. That's the moment where you get to take an inhale. So I sniff through my nose. A couple other points. Remember, the kettlebell is going between your legs. You're going to want to feel this part of your forearm riding up pretty high. So if you're down here, this is way too low. You want to make sure that when the kettlebell comes back through, see how it's going to be mainly between my knees. You don't want it to be coming through like down here. This is way too low. That's not going to work. When the kettlebell comes up, it's going to go, you're going to keep it pretty high up pretty high up between your legs. So you feel this part of your forearm going right up high on the insides of your legs. And really that's it. I mean, all the different things that we've gone over up to this point really apply to this. So if you've been watching the other videos, if you've been practicing the movements, if you've been working on your deadlifts and your goat bags, if you've been working on the pendulums, then you understand all this already. It's already coming together for you. Get that nice deep hinge, snap the handle in half, lean back. Notice how deep this hinge is. Like I'm not here. I'm rocking the kettlebell back, pulling my shoulders into their sockets, trying to maintain a neutral position with my neck. And then I'm just gonna rip it back using only my lats so my upper body doesn't dip. And then I just stand up hard through my heels, squeezing hard with my glutes, driving my hips forward, exploding forward. And then letting the kettlebell fall, dodge at the last second. Remember, you've got that imaginary like basketball hoop or net behind you, boom, straight in, and just ripping it back out. All right. Made it. So watch this video as much as you need to. Pick up on the points. Again, be patient with your body. There's lots of moving parts, literally. Lots of things for your mind to incorporate. So be patient about that. But I promise you, when you start to get this, when you start to get the concepts down, if you've already been swinging, but you haven't been doing it like this, game changer. You're going to get so much more out of your swings. Two last things, almost forgot. One, your gaze when you're doing your swings, try to pick a point not directly in front of you like here, because if you watch, what happens is I'm trying to keep my eyes up here, and so it cranks my head back. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world, and if you find yourself doing that sometimes, it's okay. But generally speaking, we actually want to try to keep more of a neutral alignment with our neck, so you end up kind of looking more down. Kind of, if you pick a point on the edge or the bottom of the horizon for your eyes to fix on, and do that. Because you don't want to lean your head way back, you don't want it jutting forward. When you come down, ideally, you're going to have a fairly straight line, okay? That's one thing. The other thing is, and this is just a general principle about all ballistic or explosive kettlebell movements, and really any of the movements. So let's say you're going to do a set of 10 swings. I want you to put everything you have into each swing. I don't want you to like think in your mind, okay, I've got 10 swings, so I'm gonna conserve my energy. Hardstyle kettlebell training is all about maximizing your force production, your ability, everything you can do into each rep. So it's like you're sort of giving it all you have with each rep you do. You're trying as hard as you can. You're trying to really maximize the muscle tension and then the relaxation, and really vacillating between those two when you're going from hinge, plank, hinge, plank, and any of the other movements that I will teach you how to do or that you'll be doing in these workouts. Maximize every single rep. You will get so much more out of your training if you incorporate that principle. And that's part of the reason why you won't see me doing a lot of programming where you're doing more than 10 swings. On occasion, we might, but for the most part, I don't. And the reason being is that you start to lose power I don't want you to lose power. I want you to be able to maximize the amount of power that you generate with your swings every time you do it. If you find yourself, whenever we're doing workouts together, or you're following along with a workout, if you start to lose power, guess what else you start to lose? Your integrity of your form, okay? You start losing power, you start getting the benefit, or as much benefit, out of it. So in those moments, you rest. Just go ahead and set the kettlebell down, step away for a second, catch your breath, let your body rest enough where it can start to maximize its potential with each rep. Again, there will be times whenever we're gonna do really hard workouts that are smokers, but a lot of them are gonna be the type of workouts that you can just do on a day in, day out, punch the clock, and be healthy basis. And then there's gonna be times every couple weeks or so where we're really gonna, I don't know what the right word is, drive you into the floor. Might be a great way to say it. So anyway, a lot of talking, but maximize every rep. Take into consideration everything that we've built up to this swing video with the hinging, hips driving, arms are guiding, vertical plank at the lockout. Let the weight of the kettlebell pull itself back down, and the last second, hinge out of the way, goes behind you, and you just stand up hard again. Okay? All right. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or concerns, whatever the case may be. Again, thanks for tuning in, and look forward to working out with you and working with you on anything you need. Thanks.